Well, hello there, and this is Auntie, and I am here with my review of the 1,000 Pound Sisters, Season 2, Episode 3, Wake Up Call. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for joining the family. To all of my nieces and nephews who have been here with me for the long haul, thank you all so much for your continued support. If I had to rate the episode, I would rate the episode probably a C. Okay? Yeah, I'm just going to give them a C for it. All right? So, without further ado, let's get into the review. So, we open up this episode with the family basically holding a pre-funeral for Tammy. Chris is bringing Tammy outside of the Chris is bringing Tammy outside, and Amy is standing out there looking like Tammy has already died. Okay. Dr. Proctor indicated that if Tammy did not change her ways, that she only had, in about 5 years, she had about an 80% chance of, passing away. And so Tammy has gotten the shock and the news of her life, and of course, she's upset. So, of course, they're all riding back to the hotel. Now, as we all know, Dr. Proctor told them that he is not going to see Tammy anymore. And he also indicated that they needed to go and see a psychotherapist, right? Or some type of therapist or whatever, because like this is really getting serious. And that there is a codependency between the two sisters. And so, he's like all of this gotta stop, we gotta get this together, right? So of course they all go to, back in the hole, and they ask, Chris, the brother, asks Tammy, how do you feel about this, Tammy? And she's like, I gotta buckle down. And so, they all are like, you gotta buckle down, Tammy. And of course, Tammy gets irritated with Amy because she feels like if Amy can do it, if Amy can overeat, if Amy, is reckless with her health, then she should be able to be reckless with hers. Tammy does not want to take any kind of ownership for her own life. Everything that has happened with her as it relates to her weight, her life, whatever, is always Amy's fault. And while Amy is selfish, right, so is Tammy. But Tammy, just wants to blame everybody else. She has put herself in this crippling situation, but yet and still she wants to blame everybody else for what's going on. So, of course, she's in the back of the car, and she's like, why I can't do it? You can overeat. Why I can't overeat? And I'm saying, Amy is sitting up and you laying back. You got a whole row, okay? A whole entire row of chairs. The whole bench is gone in the back of the daggone van. It still, since Amy is sitting up, shouldn't you be sitting up? If you want equality, sit your fat ass up, okay? You can't sit up. So, you can't sit up, then shut up. Okay, this is how I'm feeling about the situation. I don't know how y'all feeling about the situation, but you can't do, it's obvious that you can't do what everybody else can do, little panda. Okay, so Tammy is upset, and the brother's like, look, you gonna have to buckle up. All of us gonna have to get our weight together, including me, right? So, they end up, going to, what did they do? So they ended up, did they go to the therapist? Because she still had that yellow shirt on. So I'm thinking that they went to the therapist, right, y'all? Because did they go to the therapist? Yeah, they went to the therapist. No, I'm gonna put the cart before the horse. the family, they decided that they wanted to do something because they've been trying to include Tammy into everything, right? And so they went to go to the aquarium. And when they went to the aquarium, Tammy was being rolled around and all of that kind of stuff. And they were talking about, some manatees or something like that. And Amy made a joke and was like, it looked like Tammy because it got the big horn in the head. And so, of course, thank you so much for the super chat. So, of course, she's, saying something about that, right? And the Tammy, and so Amy was joking about it, and he was like, it was a baby one and it was a big one. The baby one was you, Amy. And so Amy said, I don't have a big thing on my head, and the brother popped her on the head. I just was like, I don't know about that. So anyway, the two sisters, they now have to go to see the therapist. This lady is a licensed therapist. She said that she specializes in dealing with bariatric patients, right? And so she done seen it all, heard it all. Every excuse that you can make, this woman has already seen it. So I'm liking her already. So, Amy said that she feels like she doesn't want to go to a therapist because she feels like she can talk to her friends for free and she shouldn't have to pay to go and see a therapist. And I'm saying you're not paying. TLC is paying for this. This whole thing that this all of this. You haven't paid for any of this. I'm sure that everything that you are receiving has been free, including the therapist. And so they decided to go up in the therapist's office and everything. And they thought that, Shorty, because she was, they thought she was going to play with them. But girlfriend wasn't. She had time to play with them. So, of course, they sit down and everything. And the therapist is like, hi, ladies. How are you all? How's everything? Hi, Tammy. So Tammy was like, She was like, so how's everything going? I mean, how do you feel? Good. So Amy jumps in and says, well, I wasn't feeling good about this. I was really reluctant to do this because we have been brought up all of our lives with the idea or with the instructions that you don't show your feelings. So the therapist was like, oh, well, so, when you hear therapist, you hear feelings. See, that's really difficult, for someone. But anyway, we'll get back to that. So, Tammy, tell me, I understand that you're trying to get the weight loss surgery. And she was like, yes. And she was like, okay, is that something you still want to do? So Tammy said, yeah, I'm trying to, redefine all this. So she was like, okay, so, do you still want it and everything? She's like, yeah. She said, so tell me, what are you eating? Whatever I want. So the therapist was like, oh, oh, whatever you want. Oh, okay. I got something for your whatever you want. So Tammy is already defensive, right? She doesn't want to, let anything go. And anytime Amy says something, they argue. So the two of them begin to argue amongst one another. And they calling each other fat bitches in the van. Now, when they were in the van, Tammy called Amy a fat bitch. And so she called her a fat bitch. And then one of them was back there snoring, and Chris said the bitch is back there snoring. So the B word is something that they use quite frequently in their vocabulary amongst one another. And I think it's absolutely inappropriate. I don't think I've ever heard my brothers call me a bitch. And I would be shocked if that's what, if they were ever to say that to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm closer to 60 than I am to 50. And I have never, ever had, I don't believe, any of them call me like a bitch. In joking, in jest, seriously, in an argument, I've never, ever had them call me that, and I think it's inappropriate, and they use it so lightly around each other. They're extremely abusive with their mouth, and even though they say that they are close in their family and they hang together, they arguing and doing all kinds of books, right? So while they sitting in there, she was asking Tammy, what, basically what was going on. And so Tammy was like, when I be want a healthy food, she go and just bring me back anything, and she just forces the food down my throat, my fat ass throat, and that's why I'm this way. And so the doctor was like, well, you're going to have to learn how to say no. So Amy was like, her eye be like that, right? So Amy was like, but you tell me if I don't go and get your food, then you going to call the police. Amy was like, you know, that's a lie. She was like, that's not the truth. That's not a lie. You can ask Michael. So, she's sitting there, so she was like, you always try to make me be the bad guy. And I'm like, what's this bull with being the bad guy? So Amy was like, you trying to make me be the bad guy. You trying to make me be the bad guy. So the lady was like, what? I mean, so you already had the surgery, right, Amy? So Amy was like, yeah, I had the surgery. I lost 118 pounds, and now I'm pregnant. So she was like, oh, well, good for you. Hercules, good for you. And so, but what she didn't tell a bitch was that she done gained 100 of it back, because when she went to go and see Dr. Proctor, he said, bitch, you done only lost 18 pounds. So 100 pounds of that weight Amy has put back on. But these two bitches are sitting up in there going back and forth about who buying the food, how the food get there, how the food doesn't get there. Amy says that, Tammy wants cake and cookies and ice cream. And Tammy said, I don't want the cake and the cookies and the ice cream all the time. I want that fried okay. I want that fried food. That's my problem. I like eating that Popeye's chicken and that chicken sandwich. And, I want everything that's fried out the grocery store. I don't care if you guys stand in line and get them bitches to fry. That's what I want. It ain't the cookies and the cake of it all for me. That's not what it is. It's the fried food for me. So now, they're talking. She wants to say, well, Amy, you eat anything that your fat ass want to eat, and then you bring me the batch out the store. So the lady told, Amy, you got to learn how to say no. So Tammy is trying to talk, and Amy jumps in, and so Tammy was like, I fucking hate when she interrupt me. Wait a minute, hold on, let me, Oh, by the way, on another note, I'm happy to share with you all that this shirt that I have on is a size 7'8". Just thought that I would share with you all. I'm trying to still be like a fat girl, but this size 7'8" is telling me you're no longer a fat girl. At least not up here, okay? I just thought that y'all would want to know, since, we talking about weight and everything. But anyway, so, they going back and forth, and so the lady said, so Tammy was like, I hate when she fucking cut me off. And so the lady said, yeah, I know that bothers you. So Amy, I was like, at the doctor. So now all of a sudden, Amy believes that they're calling her a bad mother because she doesn't have the ability to say no to Tammy. And somehow the baby came up, okay? And the lady was like, nobody's calling you a bad mother. I see you want to be a bad mother. I feel you want to be a bad mother. I understand you want to be a good mother. I see it. I feel it. I hear it. I sense it. You want to be a great mom. So she asked Amy, Amy, did you get the weight loss surgery because you wanted a better life? And she was like, I got a better life. I'm pregnant. That's my dream. And I don't want to be like my mother. So she said her mother did the best that she could, but her greatest fear is being like her mother. So she said, well, how are you going to mother your child, right? And so Amy says, by looking at the Brady Bunch. Bitch, they off the air. I don't know if you realize it. Thank you so much for the super chat. I don't know if you realize it, but bitch, they're off the air. There is no longer in syndication. The Brady Bunch, the Partridge Family, all of that's gone. So why in the world would you emulate something that is already gone, and it was a fake ass family, and there was a whole bunch of controversy around that fake ass family? But these women are arguing back and forth with each other about the food. at the end of the day, the lady told said about Tammy, Tammy ain't ready for weight loss surgery. She is not a candidate for this. Now, here, this woman got the power to say whether or not you get or you don't. And you going to go in there and tell a woman that I eat whatever the fuck I want to eat. So she was like, I got your I eat whatever. I got your sarcasm. I got your nastiness. I got your shade. Bitch, I'm not recommending that you get the surgery. Now, this is what this girl has been saying that she wants. But based on what is coming out of her mouth and the what she's willing to do, she's already deemed her ineligible, which is a bad thing. She's deemed ineligible. So, Tammy gets so mad, they end up cutting it off and they end up leaving out. And so they get into the van and the brother asks, how did everything go? But prior to that, they got to the place. Chris is now responsible for her because Amy is pregnant and he's got to push her around. So baby Panda is sitting in a doorway of the van with her little feet sitting up like this, looking like little paws. And that's why I keep calling her baby Panda. So baby Panda, walling and everything, because she got to, like waddle to, she, when she want to get out, her little feet be like this. So when they got there, they swings the door open. Little baby Panda, she be like, so Chris is standing there and everything, got the wheelchair ready for her. So she gets her ass in the wheelchair. So Chris is pushing her up to the doctor's office, right? And the doctor's office had a ramp. So Chris pushing her up the ramp and bitch's shoe came off. Bitch. So his shoe came off, right? And so Chris was like, whoa. He fell down behind the wheelchair, right? So Tammy was on there like, oh. Amy, get me in the back. The problem. Now, mind you, this bitch is 600 some pounds. If that wheelchair came back, bitch, I'm telling you. Tammy's sitting up on there scared to death because the last thing she want to do is be on her motherfucking back. Chris is trying to get his shoe back on and he said, get it! Amy said if that wheelchair had a came back on somebody, bitch, we'd have been dead. She said, I'd have lost my baby. Now, that was an exaggeration, but then again, I don't know. But Tammy on there didn't try to huff, puff, and like wheel her ass. Like, she didn't try to do nothing. She just was panicking on the ramp, and Chris is on the ground, bitch. I'm talking about skint knees, skint up ass knees and everything. And Tammy is on there huffing and puffing. Oh, hey, man, get behind me. So Chris get behind the wheelchair right after he get his burns. He get behind the wheelchair and he like, hey. Thank you for the super chat. He like, hey, he, bitch, that thing, you know, Tammy on the daggone wheels going. I said, bitch, this is catastrophic. They finally gets her up there. Amy was like, let me tell you something. It's hard willing her. I don't know why she don't have an electric scooter. I don't know why when she's so big that her feet just be sitting out like this, y'all. I'm not lying. It be all face, a big belly, no waist, and just them feet. And the bitch be looking like that. And y'all know she do. When she be getting about that van, she be like, I said, you know what? I feel sorry for her and for Chris. The next morning, Chris gets up and they have egg whites, Greek yogurt, and some bananas. Now, you know you're not supposed to have bananas. But anyway, he decides that he wants to have a healthy meal. But the thing about it is they don't even know how to define what a healthy meal is, right? So they sitting outside. He opens up the Greek yogurt. It's nasty than a mofo, right? Because Greek yogurt, I don't like it either. Okay, if I'm going to have my yogurt, I want my yogurt. I want to drink my yogurt, right? So he's telling her that he's going to do the diet plan with her. Chris goes into talking about his own life. He said that when they were growing up, oftentimes they didn't have a lot of food and they would go to bed hungry. He said if they had food, it wasn't the food that they wanted. And, you know, he just made a determination that when he got grown that he would never fucking go to bed hungry. So as a result of him not wanting to go to bed hungry, he is now 400 and what, 19, 18, 19 pounds, rounding up to 420. And so he tells Tammy that, you know, she's got to buckle down. She's got to be serious. And this was his wake-up call. When he went to the hospital, you know, to the Dr. Proctor with her, he made a determination as well that he definitely needed to do something about his weight too. So he told her he's going to be riding her like Amy never did. Amy said it's better for Chris to do it because number one, y'all know she's having a baby, right? And number two, you know, Tammy needs a cheerleader, and Amy's not going to be her cheerleader. We see them try to have that, you know, that meal, and they didn't, you know, they weren't successful with it or whatever. The next time we see them, right, Tammy, Amy and Amy's husband are cooking a eggplant parmesan spaghetti and meat sauce meal. They believe because they're using a sauce that is a vegan sauce or whatever, that they can eat as much cheese as they want to. And I said, you know, the lady asked them when they were in the thing, did they believe that they were addicted to food? And both of them admitted that they are indeed addicted to food. That to me was not a aha moment, okay? It just wasn't. The aha moment was that Tammy was sitting, stranded, bitch, in a wheelchair on a ramp that was going nowhere fast. Had that daggone wheelchair got some momentum, okay, and ran Chris' ass over and Amy while you at it, it would have been catastrophic. I'm just telling y'all, it was. But to me, my aha moment would have been that I don't have the ability in my arms to wheel my ass. You know how they grab the wheelchair? I don't have the ability to do that. She don't have the ability to save her own life. But yet and still, everything that Amy is doing for her, she complains about. Amy is telling her, you're eating all the bad food. You the one to buy the food. She tells the brother that Amy comes over to her house with different food items, and she tells her, girl, you need to eat this. And she says that, I'm on a diet. And she said, girl, just eat it, it's good. But you're going to have to learn how to pull your fat ass back from the table. Like, again, and I don't know if I said this before, but losing weight is all about motherfucking portion control. She doesn't have any portion control, no food control, because I guess she is addicted to food. But I was glad that the doctor said that she wasn't a candidate because she's not ready to not be addicted to this food. We sit down and we watch them devour this daggone Parmesan, right? And the next thing you know, we see Amy tell me, I'm in pain. Honey, get up because I'm in pain. Bitch, you ate the whole kitchen. You ate every slice of cheese. Here she was eating the eggplant Parmesan. She said she was full, but she was eating off her husband's plate. And he said something. He said, you say you full, but bitch, you eating off my plate. What the fuck? And now, here you going to the emergency room. They was going to a doctor's appointment. And she said, because I'm worried about the baby. No, it's because you bust the egg, bitch. You bust the egg. Your stomach you got the gastric sleeve. They reduce your stomach down to an egg. You bust it. The egg is busted. And one thing about busting the egg, you can't put it back together again. So now you sitting up there, got all this gas and intestinal problems, you know what I'm saying? And so she said she been cramping for the last 2 days. That's because the Dr. Proctor told you. So now she's going to the doctor's appointment and, going to see the GYN. And so, she's like, I've been having cramps and everything. So she was like, okay, what kind of cramps, Let's see, it could be Braxton Hicks's, okay? You in your second trimester, and you could be having Braxton Hicks. So when the lady tell her that, the baby is fine and everything, I don't know if her cramps went away, but the next thing we know, Tammy is sitting out on the front porch, and we see Amy in a car driving with her face this close to the thing, right? And she's like, I'm having cramps. I'm having pains. The pains, I can't even describe the pains. It's called fat ass pains. It's called you's a fat bitch and you bust the egg. It's called you did not do what you were supposed to do. You're supposed to be on a liquid diet. You're supposed to be drinking broths and eating stuff light. It's called eggplant Parmesan with too much cheese. It's called steak and cheeses and French fries and pineapples and spaghetti sauce. It's called all of that stuff. And now see you're sitting up there and you got everything backing up in your chest. So now you thinking that you having a miscarriage, but really it's called fat ass people pains. Okay? Been there, done that. That's what it's called. But she's at the hospital. And Amy is saying, calm down. Tammy is saying, calm down. What's wrong with you? I don't want to die. I'm too young to die. Oh my God. My pains. I'm on a respirator. I'm not, like, what? If the doctor tell you that your stomach is as big as an egg, and he tells you that you've already gained weight back and that you're about to mess up your surgery, The doctor told you not to even get pregnant. But you said that this baby is your dream, and I know what it is to have a dream. But you're doing all the wrong things, like all the wrong things. You you're not rehabilitated. And that's why Tammy believes that she can eat all of this stuff, right? Because she see Amy do it. And even when she sees Amy do it, she talks to Amy and says to Amy, Amy, I think you're eating too much. But Amy doesn't want to hear that. And so now you are high risk pregnant. You're in a high risk pregnancy because you're 280 pounds. You're close to 300. You've already had gastric bypass surgery or the gastric sleeve, and you're overeating like a mother. You're not exercising. You're not doing anything you're supposed to do, and you're wondering why you're having cramps. Now, it could be that she's having toxemia, okay? Because I had toxemia when I was pregnant. It showed up in like my 6.5, 7 months of pregnancy. It showed up, right? And I ended up having to have my daughter early, right? Because my blood pressure was like out of the roof. So it's not impossible that could be what's happening. Of course, I was older when I had my daughter, right? And so I was in that high risk category because of my age, right? Um, and I don't know if this is what she's having. So maybe I shouldn't be saying it was fat girl. No, it was fat girl stuff. 9 times out of 10, this is fat girl stuff. I was trying to be nice and trying to be generous and everything. But with the way that this girl is eating and the YouTube videos that they make, eating and stuff like that, when they had the video recently, eating healthy foods, neither one of them could get that stuff down their throat. Anything healthy, they can't get down there and throw. But anything that's unhealthy, they can manage to get it down. You got fat girl issues. Now, from my understanding, someone went and looked at Amy's registry and saw a bunch of boy stuff, and therefore, I'm saying that this girl is having a boy. I don't know if she's having a boy or had a boy or whatever, it is. But I do hope that, she did not miscarry, right? So let me go back up, y'all, and see if I can find these super chats, because I hated that I could not read them. Oh, they gone. They must be too far back. Oh, yeah, they too far back. It's not letting me go back. Up, there go one. Thank you, Sharita Schaefer, for the $9.99 super chat, honey. I'm dying laughing over here, not the baby. Thank you, Sharita, for the $9.99 super chat. Let me see if I can go back to other ones. Please let me be able to go back. Oh, thank you, Lillian Lopez, for the $5 super chat. Auntie, congratulations. Auntie, did you receive my package? I didn't. I need to go to the P.O. box. I'll go. Haven't been to the P.O. box. Oh, it was another one on there, but I missed it. I'm sorry to the young lady that I missed. But y'all, let me tell y'all, they just having straight up fat girl issues. And I have been a fat girl, so I know what it is to have fat girl issues when you sitting up there and you got, a whole lot of pain in your chest and you think you about to stroke out, and next thing you know, you farting. Right? Now, we know that they fart all the time. So maybe she has not been able to bust a fart out. Okay? I don't know what that is. Just FYI, the VA pays for it free to vets. Okay, that must be something else. I hope so too. I hope, okay. Okay. Absolutely, Alice Hill. They have to stop eating so much. But it's just, I'm hoping that it's fat girl issues, and that there's nothing that has happened to the baby. I believe if there was something that happened to the baby, that we would have heard it by now. But I'm going to tell you right now, these sisters, from what I've seen, it doesn't look like Tammy has lost any weight whatsoever. Again, the doctor told her, bitch, you're not going to, be getting no weight loss surgery anytime soon. And when they do those site tests and stuff from what I've heard, what I understand from people that I know that have had the surgery, they absolutely go by the recommendation of any therapist. They try to give you like a psych test to see whether or not you're eligible to have it had a surgery at all. Because if your mind isn't right, and your mind, which Amy's mind wasn't right. I don't believe that if Amy was not doing this show, that she would have been approved for the surgery. Like, she really should not have been approved for the surgery. But again, when you have a weight loss, you want to lose weight and stuff like that, it's all about your portion control. It's all about what are you putting in your mouth. Now, I don't eat as healthy as I should, but I eat the bare minimum. And I eat to satisfy my taste buds, and then after I eat that, I'm good. I don't have to have anything else. Then I can eat the healthy stuff. I can eat the salad. I can eat the fruit, or I can eat the air, right? Because I love air, and I just think that, they really need to buckle down and do exactly what it is that they need to do. But because on they're so codependent on each other, and they're always pointing the fingers at each other, and nobody wants to be wrong about, they are not good for one another. So hopefully Chris, the brother, who is now, getting a little check, hopefully Chris will be able to help her lose weight, help her be accountable, and help his own self, because Chris be breathing hard too. Chris is like 20 pounds away from being in a wheelchair his damn self. And, he said that even his daughter is fat. And we saw, that the daughter was happy. And like I said, I'm not above anything like that. But I'm just like, you got to pull away. You got to push back from the table. Anyway, y'all, that is the end of my review of 1,000 Pound Sisters. I'm hoping that you all liked it. If you have not already done so, go ahead and hit that damn subscribe button. If you've been here and you done seen at least 2 or 3 of my videos, bitch, you's family. Go ahead and hit that subscribe bell. Hit the notification bell so that every time I go live, you going live with me, okay? Whether you doing 90 Day Fiance, Love After Lockup, my 1,000-pound life, 600-pound life, bitch, whatever it is, hit that subscribe button and join this family. We are the best family on YouTube. If you are a 90 Days Fiance fan, stick around. I'll be back in about 10 or 15 minutes, and we're going to talk about Tampon Gate, okay? See y'all later. Love you all. Thank you for the super chats. And Mary, thank you for always holding the chat down. Love y'all.